Scary story by Jeff Wolford. When the job search becomes impossible, 3 phases of burnout. Graduating this year. Oh, you're graduating this year. Okay, here you go. Here's a spooky ghost story for you. Here we go. Phase 1, the obvious but impossible search. You've spent several months sending out scores of carefully tailored resumes and cover letters for your jobs you know you are fully qualified for and would excel at. All these things are true. Usually you get no response. Oh, that's terrible. Occasionally you get a polite position filled. It's almost, in some ways, it's almost better not to get that email because it's a big letdown. And that's it. Ooh, that doesn't sound like it's very good, does it? You're knocking all the obvious doors, all the jobs closest to what you've been doing, and nothing's opening up. It's exhausting and frustrating. The very act of telling your friends you're discouraged feels like swallowing a horse pill. Discouraged does not reach the depths of your fear and despair. Oh, we're getting into it, you guys. This sounds like it's really rough right now, doesn't it? Trying to get a job. And then you're matched with this despair because you're sending out all of your resumes and cover letters and you're getting nothing back. Nothing's happening. The vibe hiring is tough right now. The obvious path forward. Finding a job in line with your resume. That makes the most sense. Here's your skills. Here's the jobs that are out there. You match them up and you submit your resumes that match. It no longer looks like a path. Interesting. It looks like the cliff of insanity. We're doing a spooky story today. The spooky story of not getting a job. You got to be careful, you guys. It's submit all your resumes and nothing comes back. All right. What used to feel like the obvious ways forward now feels like the impossible way forward. Somewhere in your brain, there is a tank of gasoline that gets burned each time you force yourself to do something irksome, something that doesn't feel right, that does not feel good. And that tank is burned down to vapors. You're out of gas. You have no more fuel left. You are burnt out. You are burnt out. Hope it ends in a happy story, but maybe not because maybe it's an adjacent industry, slightly different role, or somewhere you never really wanted to live. Oh, right. That's a good point. You can look for jobs outside of where you live. I mean, a lot of jobs can be remote these days. So why just focus on your current city? Why not focus on other cities? Maybe go beyond the city borders. Well, maybe you could take a small pay cut. Oh, there you go. I didn't even think about it. Actually, that's a good way to do it. Undercut your competition. That's actually a really strong approach. You can undercut your competition by just having a lower salary expectation. That can help you a lot. It can help you really a lot. I used that strategy in the past. Maybe an hour's commute wouldn't be so bad. You expand your search away from the impossible to a broader horizon, to things that are adjacent to impossible. Okay, so not quite impossible, but you think it's still possible, so it's adjacent to it, right? You're right next to the impossible, you guys. You're right next to it. This often works. It sounds like it could work for you too, right? The compromises can turn out better than expected. A pay cut can lead to a quick raise that puts you ahead of your prior pay. Sometimes they turn out worse, though, than expected, but the next job search goes better. New connections, new headspace, more time for a market to improve. Sometimes it doesn't work. That's the thing you didn't want to hear. I know you didn't want to hear that because you're looking for a job and you're trying even harder now, but sometimes that still doesn't work. The employers don't bite. The required compromises are just too dire. The adjacent to impossible job turns out to be impossible as well. It's still impossible. Oh no. You were burnt out again. You're very burnt out. You're so burnt out now. You're burnt out twice. Did you know that you could get double burnt out? It turns out you can. And this sounds like a problem because you're searching for a job right now and it's not turning out any possibilities. The creativity and spunk it took to expand your horizons has gone nowhere. That extra spark has died. The brain's reserve gas tank is now showing E for empty. E for empty. You are suffering from a disease we all call adjacent to impossible search burnout. Okay, this is like level 2 burnout now. It's going to go to level 3, you guys. It's going to, not Owen, I'll work for half. Okay, I'll work for free. Okay, I'll pay to work. I'll pay you to hire me. Not Owen, you can see the future. You see where we're going now, don't you? You see it. You see what's happening. That's, yeah. They're like, wait, you're going to pay me? Wait, I've never heard of that before. But that does sound like an interesting prospect. Do you think that's going to happen? Do you think that has ever happened in the history of employment? Someone actually being paying to be employed? You know what? I bet it has. I bet it has happened before. I've gone halfway there. I haven't gone all the way. I'll pay someone to work for them. But you guys, that does sound like a crazy proposition, doesn't it? RG, I believe these are phases. 1, you apply to selective companies and you try to be chosen. Yes. 2, you apply to relevant posts on any company. And then 3, you start applying to anything. This is exactly what's happening here. We're going to expand the search even further because you can see here, phase 3, the weird search. Where are we going to go? All right. So AISB for the medical professionals in the room, adjacent to the impossible search, burnout. But you can't stay still. You can't, because you got to do something. So your mind looks for a new path, a new way forward. RG, phase 3, here we go. Starting to apply to anything and everything. Okay, is that what's going to happen here? All right, here we go, you guys. Well, if none of the obvious or even next to obvious stuff is working, why hang around? Why hang around in that zone? Throw the gates wide open. Go run and walk the horizon, the whole horizon, drag the whole ocean, get everything, all doors. Said, you want a job, but you could have a more fun job. You could increase your joy meter. This could happen. And sometimes it goes great. Almost every company or product we love started more or less like this. I reckon it. The next one might be yours. I like the weird path. And if you take it and it blossoms, I salute you and I bless you. That actually sounds like this has a potential for having a good outcome, a good story here. But we're here for the ones that are still stuck in this place. The third phase. Uh-oh, you guys. You have been thwarted by the cliffs of insanity. You have become nauseated by the worldwide of compromise. Oh, the wide world of compromise. But nowhere else on your broad horizons has yet called to you forward. And there is a deal. Here's the deal. Here's how you know you're really at the end of your rope. You are sick of freaking thinking about it. Okay, you have to put all this mental energy towards your success, towards finding ways forward, and it is a numbers game. It really is. It's very hard, but you have to keep moving forward. But it sounds like you might be getting to the end of your rope. You might be getting tired. You are sick of trying to find jobs you should have. You are sick of trying to find jobs you could have. You are sick of trying to find jobs you shouldn't have. Jobs that could be fun but would make your grandmother shake her head a little. You are burned out on search. All possible gas tanks are empty. Every gas tank, every reserve, everything is gone. All creative, hopeful, bright idea, one more try. Sauce is gone, dried up, kaput. It's gone, you guys. It's gone. You're burnt out. You're burnt out on search. The BOOS for the professionals. That's the problem. That's the disease. You're welcome. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you for this story. Who wrote this? Jeff Wolford. Okay. Let's see. Jeff Wolford. Let's see. Oh, Jeff Wolford has a solution for you, though. Okay. So there might be, you guys, there might be a possible happy ending. There might be a possible happy ending. All right, let's find out. I don't know. I can't solve your problem. If your problem wasn't genuinely hard, you would have solved it already. That's a good point. I mean, is there going to be a solution to this? Some stranger who doesn't know your situation ain't going to solve it. All right. How is a stranger? Oh, wait. Is he all right? He's doing a disclaimer right here. He's doing a disclaimer saying, hey, is this stranger? You will know your own success way better. Booze. Yeah. BOOS, not on. The burned out on search. It's the thing. It's the thing that's happening right now. And here you go. Solutions right here. Solutions. But I don't know. Okay. You're not alone. But we've got some notes here. But here are some notes I picked up along the road. A lot of people are in this boat right now. Does that mean you guys? Does that mean some of the people who are watching right now? And frankly, in any given year, somebody you know is in this boat. Somebody you probably know is in this boat right now. As I write, 40% of unemployed people have been out of work for 15 weeks. 15 weeks is a lot. That's almost 4 months. Fully a fourth have been unemployed for 26, 27 weeks. That's a half a year, you guys. 6 months. Unemployment is not strange or rare. It happens to everybody. Good, capable people who did miracles at prior organizations and will do them again. They just can't do them right now. They just can't. It just didn't happen. Let's not understate the horror of unemployment in a modern economy. Talk about a cliff of insanity. There is an unbelievable drop in well-being from unemployed or employed to unemployed. Yeah, you lose happiness. I guess you lose but doesn't it? Wait. I mean, typically, wouldn't you think not having to do anything seems happy? But you know what? It's actually kind of the opposite. Having nothing to do or no sort of, what do you call it? Ambition or purpose. There's the answer. Purpose. Having no purpose, I think, is probably really, really the worst. It's really the worst. It is. And if you don't have a job, you don't really have a purpose. I suppose you could cultivate your own purpose, but it might not be the right approach. Okay, let's see what we got. I don't need to spell it out. The money stuff, the healthcare stuff, the embarrassment. Yeah. Oh, the boredom, the fear. It's bad, you guys. It's really bad. It's bad if you don't have a job. All these things are happening right now. He just spelled out all of the bad things that are happening. Oh, no. And yet somehow in the grand scheme of social sympathy and compassion, unemployment doesn't get a lot of love. Oh, it does not. That's true. It's your fault, right? Isn't that what we're saying? You're unemployed and it's your fault. So why should there be any compassion or sympathy, right? Because it's your fault. Oh, that sounds terrible. Tell folks you've got knee problems. Oh, house foundation problems, college debt, divorce, death in the family, hairstylist went rogue this morning and messed up your cowlick. And there comes with all kinds of sympathy. Yep, all kinds of sympathy. This is a word or sort of like a story of hope in this case. I'm not just talking about stories and imagination and movies right now. I'm talking about who do you personally know who's had it that bad? Do you know anyone? Do you? I don't. So I guess technically saying your outlook is still good. Your outlook is still good. And look, it does happen. I'm not saying that 100% of people are back from unemployment, but in your experience, what percentage of people get back to a decent place? 90? It's got to be more than that, right? 95, 99%? It seems like so. In my case, it's been 100. So I imagine that would have to be around this range, 99%. Most of the time, your friends and family members go through a period of unemployment, and then they find a new good life on the other side. It might be the obvious place. It might not be. But it might be one of those weird paths that we were talking about. They might have gone through the first 2 burnout phases, but then they eventually found a weird path we talked about. But very often, the new path, no matter how weird, becomes stable and sufficient and even joyful. Okay, so what we're learning here is that you might even get to the point of the weird path, which means that if you were studying computer science and you were enjoying it and you were thinking to get a job, but you weren't able to right now, you might find success in the weird path, which is disappointing because you spent a lot of time trying to figure it out. But maybe that's, I really hope that's not where it ends up. I hope not. I would rather it be you've spent a lot of time, you've worked really hard, and you find the payoff. That's the hope and dream, right? People, you are more resilient and resourceful than you think. You are skillful and at imagining bad outcomes. Oh, right. Okay, so this is negativity bias. Negativity bias. This is what drives humans and humanity. We have the ability to understand and recognize failure. And that allows us to know to do better and to make it better. And so this is why we're really good at negativity bias, because we can imagine what bad things could happen and then how to plan ahead. And that's why humans are good at what they do. You are also skillful at avoiding them. Do yourself a favor, though. Set aside imagining bad outcomes. Skill for a year or two. Okay, this is hard. This is a really hard ask right here because it's one of the best techniques and technologies of humanity is to be able to imagine bad outcomes. But Jeff is telling you to do this. You have to do this, you guys. Set that aside for a year or two, which sounds way too long to me. You cannot do that for that one, but maybe for a day or two, maybe, and focus on a spooky story of unemployment. When you didn't get it, you are currently searching for a job and you're expanding your searches and you're trying different things. You're going outside of your skill sets and you're still not finding a job. But we're finding out that after all that work and all of the failure of not finding your job, it's okay. What you need to do is rest. Just rest for a little bit. Rest is much more than the idleness. When you rest, you give your mind the space to explore possibilities it never had at the time to consider. So, because you were focusing so much, you're focusing so hard, you guys, on getting that job, you didn't give your mind the opportunity to explore and go beyond of what your current focus was. Often this exploration happens without you knowing it. Suddenly you see a new way to tackle that challenge, or you realize it was the wrong challenge to begin with. So you were fighting the wrong thing the whole time. And that's what you needed, was a different quest all along. You needed a different quest. You were on the wrong quest. So rest. Oh, here's how you get your fuel back. Okay, that totally makes sense because you ran on empty and you burnt out. So you need to refuel the tank, refuel the mind. Rest is what refuels the mind. It refuels the gas tanks. It untwists wounded joints. It builds up the sore muscles. We're not talking about Weight Watchers. Wait. We're not talking about watching 8 hours of YouTube every day. Or playing video games until 4 a.m. Those are good things, though. I think those are good, entertaining things. Why not do those? But rest is all about space. It engages the purposefully with serious boredom. Oh, what? So you have to engage in boredom. Is that what that's saying? I guess so. I guess you have to be honest, I've been personally doing this engaging with boredom thing, and I do think it actually is kind of beneficial in multiple ways. Beneficial. You're going to need to get there and stare at ceilings. That sounds like a good way to be bored. If you want to be bored, just sit there and look at the wall. That's how you can be. Or better yet, from a hammock. At some skies. Well, see, if you're looking at the skies, though, that could be a little bit more interesting. You have to maximize your boredom, you guys. If you're going to rest, just stare at the blank wall. Give the mind space to think. Okay, so now we know that if we take a break and rest for a while, we might be able to refill our gas tanks. And we can try again. I think that's what's happening here. I'm pretty sure. You guys, I'm pretty sure. Rest should involve time with friends, but also plenty of solitude. It ought to involve some deep reading with books, not just the short ones, like this article that we're reading this right now. It's a pretty short one, especially those that are full of new ideas, not the usual menu. Surprising perspectives that get you through your thoughts percolating. So you need to get your thoughts percolating. Okay. Rest needs to be done well. Set your alarm, make appointments, keep them, go outside, use your hands. There was a lot of preamble here under this giant solution segment with it saying there's no solution. And guess what? It turns out that potentially the solution is just give it a rest. Give it a rest for a bit. Okay. Let's see. Where did we leave off here? Surprising perspectives. Rest needs to be done well. Set your alarms. We're at the end, you guys. We're at the end. We're done. We're at the end of the story. The spooky story. What's going to happen in this last paragraph? I don't know. When you're burnt out on search, what do you do next? When we ask it that way, the answer becomes obvious. You rest. Okay. I think that's it. When you're burned out, you rest. That's the answer. It's the only antidote to burnt out. Give your mind time to rebuild, and it will find ways forward that you've never expected. Sometimes the best way to search is to not search.